We are now live on YouTube. So another minute, I will introduce our speaker for the day, and we will go live. We have Dr. Khosla and Vivek Atre with us today. So another minute and we will go live. And a very good morning to all of you. So is this your first webinar, Dr. Khosla?
Yeah, first webinar in life.
First
Never
webinar
before.
in life.
Yes, I have been before the studio host of times. Once when I was a young boy, I went to Jalandhar, they asked me to speak in Punjabi. Now I'm Himachali, I have some hesitation. And then they shuru kar do, apne aap niklegi. Punjabi badi achhi hai. Acha ji.
So this was Doordarshan Jalandhar in those days, I guess.
Hindi mein nahi bolna aapne.
Lovely. I think it's 11:30 now, and it's time for us to start in 10 seconds. So we'll take a pause and start in 10 seconds. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 29th episode of the Yogananda Guru series. It is my delight to honor and welcome our very dear Professor PK Khosla. Incidentally, he's also my father, if people have not known about this before. And what could be something more exciting than inviting your father for his first webinar ever in his life? So this is Dr. Khosla's first webinar. As all of you know, he's an exceptional speaker, an exceptional person, and hopefully he's going to bring in that exceptional energy into this talk today. As a quick introduction, Dr. Khosla is the founder and Vice-Chancellor of Shoolini University. But more importantly, I think his journey is very exciting as a scientist initially, as an administrator after that, a biotechnologist post that, a scientific advisor to the government after that, and then as an entrepreneur. He moved into spiritualism or practicing spiritualism at the age of 52. From being an atheist, he became someone who really believed in the spiritual side. So a fascinating talk that he's going to give today is going to be his perspective on the confluence of science and what he calls Vedic sciences. Hosting him today is Mr. Vivek Atre, again a very dear friend, visiting professor and advisor to Shoolini University, ex-IAS officer, TEDx speaker, author, and many, many other accolades behind his name. Before we start the day, there is a 3 to 5 minute video that I'll request to be played, which will give the context of the discussion today, the evolution of the universe, the evolution of mankind. So I will request this video may please be played.
The universe is everything, from the tiniest particles to the largest galaxies, to the very existence of space, time, and life. But how did it all begin? The origin of the universe is the origin of everything. Multiple scientific theories, plus creation myths from around the world, have tried to explain its mysterious genesis. However, the most widely accepted explanation is the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory states that the universe began as a hot and infinitely dense point. Only a few millimeters wide, it was similar to a supercharged black hole. About 13.7 billion years ago, this tiny singularity violently exploded. And it is from this explosion, this bang, that all matter, energy, space, and time were created. What happened next were two major stages of the universe's evolution. Called the radiation and matter eras, they're defined by key events that helped shape the universe. First came the radiation era, named for the dominance of radiation right after the Big Bang. This era is made of smaller stages called epochs that occurred within the universe's first tens of thousands of years. The earliest is the Planck epoch. No matter existed in the universe at this time, only energy and the ancestor to the four forces of nature, the superforce. At the end of this stage, however, a key event occurred in which gravity split away from the superforce. Next came the Grand Unification epoch, named for the three remaining unified forces of nature. This epoch ended when one of those forces, called strong or strong nuclear, broke away. Then, the inflationary epoch began, during which the universe rapidly expanded. Almost instantly, it grew from the size of an atom to the size of a grapefruit. The universe at this time was piping hot, and it churned with electrons, quarks, and other particles. Then came the electroweak epoch, when the last two forces, electromagnetic and weak, finally split off. During the next stage, the quark epoch, all of the universe's ingredients were present. However, the universe was still too hot and dense for subatomic particles to form. Then, in the hadron epoch, the universe cooled down enough for quarks to bind together and form protons and neutrons. In the lepton and nuclear epochs, the radiation era's last two stages, the protons and neutrons underwent a significant change. They fused and created nuclei, and in doing so, they created the first chemical element in the universe, helium. The universe's new ability to form elements, the building blocks of matter, cued the matter era. Much as the name suggests, the matter era is defined by the presence and predominance of matter in the universe. It features three epochs that span billions of years, the vast majority of the universe's lifespan, and includes the present day. The first was the atomic epoch. In this stage, the universe's temperature cooled down enough for electrons to attach to nuclei for the first time. Called recombination, this process helped create the universe's second element, hydrogen. This hydrogen, along with helium atoms, dotted the universe with atomic clouds. Within the clouds, small pockets of gas may have had enough gravity to cause atoms to collect. These clusters of atoms, formed during the galactic epoch, became the seedlings of galaxies. Nestled inside those galaxies, stars began to form, and in doing so, they cued the latest and current stage of the universe's development, the stellar epoch. The formation of stars then caused a tremendous ripple effect and helped shape the universe as we know it. Heat within the stars caused the conversion of helium and hydrogen into almost all the remaining elements in the universe. In turn, those elements became the building blocks for planets, moons, life, everything we see today. This ecosystem of everything was only possible because of the many stages in the universe's development. While countless questions about the origins of our universe remain,
Absolutely fascinating. Wow. I can't wait to hear you, Dr. Khosla. But before we start and I hand it over to Vivek, I have to mention to the audience that we are starting with a unique webinar. It's just starting also with the way Dr. Khosla is sitting. So rather than sitting on a chair, he's sitting in the Sukhasan, and he was quite adamant that that's the way he wants to sit. So I haven't seen a webinar, Dr. Khosla, where the presenter is sitting in a Sukhasan. So we're bringing modernity, which is technology, to the old ways of doing things. With that comment, I'm going to hand it over to my dear friend Vivek to have a discussion with Dr. Khosla and also lead us into the wonderful presentation that Professor Khosla will give us. Over to you, Vivek.
Thank you, Professor Atul Khosla, Pro Vice-Chancellor Shoolini. It's a pleasure to be associated with Shoolini's webinar series, the Yogananda Guru series, aptly named. And having been a speaker in this series, now it is my pleasure to introduce and welcome Dr. PK Khosla, who is the Vice-Chancellor of Shoolini University, and it is a pleasure that he's chosen a topic of such importance and significance to all of us. We look forward to listening to you, Dr. Khosla. Welcome.
Thank you.
So now I'm just going to briefly introduce the topic that Dr. Khosla is going to talk about and then hand it over to him. It is a matter of maybe a matter of fate, maybe a matter of chance that a top scientist, a botanist, who is also very interested in forestry and biology as a whole, research, has so many credits, so many accolades, so many awards, and a top scientist becomes so spiritual that he is able to balance science and spirituality. And that is something which is exemplified by the Yogananda library, the Yogananda wheel on the Shoolini campus. I know for a fact that the Khosla family also follows Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings. I follow them as well. And I must say that those of you who have not seen or read this book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, it is worth reading, worth seeing, and worth following. It will change your life to a large extent. And for the better, I must say, it is not a religious book, it is a spiritual book for everybody to read. So, Dr. Khosla, I'm going to ask you very briefly, how did spirituality come into your life? And how can we balance science and spirituality?
Well, friends, very good question. At the age of 1952, I happened to read the book that you are showing, Autobiography of a Yogi. 2 copies of this book were lying in my bookshelf for the last 6 or 8 years. These were given to both the boys, Ashish and Atul, for studying 1st and 12th from the degree college Solan. Then I thought, what sort of the principle is? They want our children to become monks. I didn't touch these books, but these copies. Then one day, I was attracted to pull the book. I opened one chapter where Swami Vivekananda's reference was there. He tells to one of the American boy, that one day your guru will come to United States, he will give you a silver cup. It happened. I thought that was 1895. My God, Vivekananda is there. Yogananda is just born in 1893. And that boy is 11 years old. And when he becomes his disciple, Yogananda lands in Boston. He becomes his disciple. And Yogananda comes back to India in 1935 at the behest of his teacher. And on return, he purchases gifts for his prime disciples. And Mr. Dixon got the silver cup. So such a correlation. I said, I must follow this route. I must follow. Then he visited one Swami Vishwas, itself in Dikshai near Solan. I asked him, why at the age of 52 there is a change? He told me, my dear boy, this is the only wealth which you take with you. All your wealth, material or physical, science, what you are studying, these will remain here. So this is where you start. You are to start at this age. So this is the time for you. I told him that if I had learned this science at the age of 22, I would have progressed. Now I am in the middle age. It doesn't matter. So when I read the book, I found that it's a continuous process and 10 lakh years, 1 million years are required for each soul to reach the heaven. And that's to reach the world. Even if you do not do anything. So then there are techniques which can hasten the process. So this is where science and spirituality meet. The science does not say that you don't accept spirituality. I would say what science is doing, it's just a fraction what the nature is doing. You are only conferring what the natural laws. This is how I feel. Science and spirituality go in hand. Even during my deliberation, you will see whatever things are given in the Vedas, the science is proving that. There is no difference between science. Because their search lab is different. That I will show you. Science, Yogi's search lab is their body. Their search lab is their tools, physical tools. This is the difference.
Right, Dr. Khosla, thank you for that introduction. I must add that Yogananda ji also wrote a book called Science of Religion. And actually, he meant science of spirituality because people understand religion more than spirituality. However, the quest for spiritual excellence is as important as the quest for any other excellence in life. And we are actually a body, mind, and soul is what a human being is. But I'll hand it over to Dr. Khosla for his presentation. And what a wonderful topic. I look forward to listening to you, Dr. Khosla. Please go ahead with the presentation. Yes, Dr. Khosla, you can go ahead. Creation of universe to soul.
Dr. Khosla, are you there? I think we lost him.
Maybe I can speak for a while.
So why don't you take it over, Vivek, for a minute, and let me see and resolve the technology challenge. Thank you.
Can we go to the next slide, please?
Vivek, my suggestion would be, why don't you give your 2 minutes and let Dr. Khosla run the presentation.
All right. So I was just saying that, you know, the science of religion is something which is very uncommon. People don't link the two. People think that science is distinct from religion and spirituality. But spirituality gives answers which science also confirms. In fact, we are in 2020 at the moment. No human being can say that science has discovered everything that there is to be discovered in this world. All phenomena existed thousands of years ago. They will exist thousands of years hence. We don't know everything there is to know in this universe yet. So there are so many questions which are unanswered. We cannot even handle a virus which can be killed by washing hands for 20 seconds. It is impacting our lives and it is destroying the fabric of society and countries. But there are so many opportunities for science to keep on proving itself by moving forward with research, with progress, with development. And I am sure that by and by mankind will understand the link between science and spiritual science. I follow, as I said, Kriya Yoga, and there is a science to deep breathing. There is a science to decarbonizing your lungs and to bringing in more oxygen into your body, to calming your senses so that they are not busy with running your heart at a rapid rate, with running your bodily functions at a rapid rate. And when your body and mind and soul are calm, then you are able to go inward. And that inner science begins, that inner journey begins, that inner peace which we are seeking, it comes. And when that inner peace comes, then actually we start combating the pressures of life a little more easily. It becomes easier for us to handle the pressures and stresses and strains and worries and fears that life will bring ultimately. And that worry and strain is more evident today. Those of us who are rooted in spirituality are in fact able to handle, in my view, personal view, the problems of life a little easier, because we understand that the larger picture of life is important, and we also understand that these are phases which will come and go. Many speakers and thinkers have spoken like this, and there are many who are still cynical, who are still thinking that the end of the world is nigh, or the world has been destroyed forever. I don't believe so. I think the world has many cycles to undergo, and the world has many ups and downs to undergo still, and ups come as well as downs, and we have to take them in our stride. We have to take them with fortitude, with balance, with courage. And scientists especially are in the forefront of this battle against the virus, researching vaccines and medicines and solutions, while doctors and paramedics and nursing staff and the staff with hospitals are battling this virus there.
But so I'll just intervene for a second, Vivek. There was a power failure over there where Dr. Khosla is, and he should be joining any second now.
All right. I look forward to that.
We'll just wait for him, but why don't you continue, please?
Yeah, sure. Look forward to Dr. Khosla joining in again. The point is that spirituality gives us the deep-rooted calmness which is required to handle life. I have an aunt who lives in New Jersey, and New Jersey is one of the very impacted areas of the US.
We have Dr. Khosla with us, Vivek.
All right. So I'll just complete this point. So she asked me, why should we meditate? So I said, we meditate to feel inner strength and peace and calmness and balance. So Dr. Khosla, I believe you are there.
Yeah, I'm now there. There was a light off Those we were helping us,
Please
I'm very
carry
sorry
on
for
with the
that.
presentation. Sure. Over to you, Dr. Khosla.
Well, I was talking, I started. My wife one day asked me, what is this corona? Does it possess soul? To me as a scientist, it seems there is soul. That's what is soul? Soul is consciousness. This is the incipient form of the soul, where the organism is cellular and it is having the genetic material in it and it has the procreation. It is just a genetic material and a lipid wall around it. When it comes in touch with the human body, finding the mucus, it starts, sheds its layer and starts dividing multiple divisions and millions of its own type. That is the characteristics of the life. That is the characteristics of the consciousness. And this evolves from corona life. When you look at the origin of life also, these were also like corona, half living, half non-living. So you see the life originated in sea. There was a soapy water. There were minerals and elements and inorganic substances could change into organic. From organic, these changed into nucleic acids. And nucleic acid then got a wall around it. It became a cell. Either it could be the bigger way, the viruses-like structure, the bacteria, from bacteria to the advanced colonies, from colonies to non-vertebrates to vertebrates, the mammal, same way in the plants evolution took place. So they say when the Big Bang took place, there was a cosmic egg. And this egg was so tiny, few millimeters, that it burst into energy. And that energy on cooling gave rise to the universe. It took 13.7 billion years to come to the present shape. First 9 years were in improving the habitat. For 9 billion years were improving the habitat only. And 4.5 years for the plant life to evolve. When, if you look at the Vedic concept also, there was a Hiranyagarbha primordial egg. It's the same thing. It was the egg. There was a sudden forces which are working on it. Indra from the outside and Vrita from inside. There was a balance with the forces. Once the force balance was disturbed, it can bang into energy, and the bang energy gave rise to the universe. There's only one difference with the Western thought or the person who gave the Big Bang theory. They do not say what beyond Big Bang. Was there any life before that? Was it cyclic? Where the Vedic scriptures say the life is cyclic. It goes on. प्रलय आती है, प्रलय खत्म हो जाती है, और उसके बाद फिर दोबारा शुरू होता है. This cycle goes on. So beyond Big Bang, there was the next question is somebody asked, were there Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh beyond at that time? No, they have not seen this Big Bang because the life energy is the spirit. That energy is not conscious. It breathes. There are shlokas from the Vedas that it was not breathing. It was only there. It was unmanifested. That unmanifested changes into manifested. Then it becomes the God. It becomes the creator, what we call it, the God. Prior to that, it's all energy. Then the cycle goes on. So in this, that the life forms also evolved with that. That finally the man had come very recently. And in their journey, starting from the bacteria to the plants to the animals, this I'm showing. Next page. So when we are talking about the origin of the universe, normally in the textbooks, there is only about the Genesis. Nobody talks about the Vedic theories, whether there were some references to that. They say in 7 days, the universe was created, and the life was created to the present form. First day, the God did this thing, created the universe. Second day, the lower animals, the higher animals, this, that, and finally, 6th day, the man came. Okay. Yogananda gives a very interesting interpretation of this. He says, these are not the light years which you are thinking. Even the people who are the priests, they do not go to that extent of thinking. These are the years of Brahma running into the geological eras. In the earlier slide that I had shown, that is, there is the Mesozoic, the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and the Paleozoic. So these three concepts are there which are to be seen. Then in Vedas, we have the Vedic thought. From unmanifested, this I have just talked, from unmanifested to manifested, the natural process changed into God. There was no God before that, and the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, came at that stage. Next. So these are the verses which I had talked, that alone, by its own power, whether there was breathing or not, that was in unmanifested form. Then the seeds of manifestation came, then the life came. That this is what is the difference between the two? The only difference is one believes that this energy or the cyclic, and other believes only they talk about the cyclic Big Bang theory. So now the question before the scientists is that how this atom was constituted, how this energy was constituted. They're very interesting point to note that in the nanoseconds, when the Big Bang took place, it converted into matter. And from matter, then it took 9 billion years to come to the present form. They were not knowing which is the third element in that. So some people were saying there are 6 quarks, some were saying 3 quarks, 2 quarks, 1 quark. A research lab in Switzerland known as CERN, they simulated the Big Bang theory, and finally they had come to the conclusion, no, there are 3 quarks, and that quark is the proton. So proton, electron, and neutron, these 3 were bonded together, and they already 2 were occurring as in the puzzle. Third was needed, and they just wanted to confirm. That is why it is known as the God's particle or the Higgs particle. Next, please. So this is just to give 6 could not have been possible because it's a large number. Single quark would not have been stable. 2 quarks would not, again, not non-stable. 3 quarks are the best. When there is a triangle, there is always energy. Trinity is the basic concept of the science, and Trinity is our concept of the Vedic scripture, the Hinduism. Vivek asked me the question, spirituality and the science. This is where the spirituality and the science are meeting. Our Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. One is the creator, one is the creator, the Vishnu is the Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Lord Shiva is the destroyer. So this continues one after another. So Higgs, this is comparable to the scientific theory. Those are given, these are being cited as the Higgs particle or the God particles. So through this slide, whatever I thought, I am summing up. There was spirit. It was not breathing. It was not God. It was some energy. So it was lying like that. And when there was some shaking, some disturbances, as in the primordial egg I have shown, and then there were 2 forces. There was an imbalance between Indra and the Beta energy. So the God came. At this stage, God only became the creator. Then this creator created the universe, created the life, the one that conserver, then the preserver and the destroyer, our concept of Trinity. Then the universe, livable universe came. Livable would mean then this our land, this earth came. And the earth, we had an organic, inorganic substances leading to plant life, animal life, ultimately to the humans. Well, friends, in human beings, we have the soul evolution also. But there is another terminology. That is the involution. That spirit has given to the human beings and other authority to become the superhuman, that they can improve their spiritual energy by some techniques and the methods that which we will be attacking further in my presentation, that we call it as the techniques of the yoga or the meditation. Yes, origin of life. Life originated in the sea and in the soup, where some minerals were there. They were inorganic to organic, organic to cell, cell to multicellular, multicellular to the evolutionary pattern. This is the concept of the life. This again is the same thing. How from the lower animals to the fish, to the amphibians, and to the other mammals, finally to the mammals, the species have grown. Same way from the gymnosperms to the angiosperms, we have come to the life forms. So when we talk about the Jurassics, these are then that there were dinosaurs. Then the climatic changes were taking place. But those animals, they were very huge. They had the long necks. They could eat from the trees. All those trees in the Carboniferous period, because of the volcanic activity, they got immersed in the underneath, and there were no food for them. Then the smaller reptiles like snake, lizards, and others, which could enter into the burrows, they survived, and they are still continuing. Whereas their larger companions, the dinosaurs, they have disappeared. This is another concept of cyclic rest of energy. This is Vishnu is resting in the soup, in the sea, in the soupy water. And there are layers on its cushion. That is that these represent the different cycles of changes. Kaya kalam hote rehte hain. Or his consort is also with him, because the male and the female are the basis of origin of the life. From his navel, there comes a lotus flower. From that, there is sitting Brahma. So this is how the concept is. Because why this type of the stories have come? Because if you follow the Yukteswar Giri's cycles of these eras, that these are changing. And in that, there is a concept that the life changes, the energy in the dark period, dark ages which we have passed, that after the Christ era, when the Kali Yuga has started, the people have lost science. And up to the 14th century, the Renaissance took place in Europe. When all the theories, whether Newton, others, Galileo and others, they came out with the hypothesis, or then they led to the commercialization and then industrialization, followed by colonization. This all took place after Renaissance. From 400 or 600 AD to 1400 AD, there was a dark period. So Indian empires were disintegrating. There was no authority. Then there were invaders who were coming, and then the British India, and finally, according to him, we have entered. That is a different story I will tell later, but this is how I will tell. Then, now coming to two great scientists who shows that life is present in everything. One is the Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose. What he has shown, response to stimuli. Plants also respond to pain, pleasure, happiness. He could show that there is consciousness even in the inert animal. What he did, he took the bromium fluid, put the roots in that, and then his graph changed. So that's just like trembling, and the narrow peaks were very sharp, but in the plain water, these peaks were even. So he could show that there is life. Plants also are response to stimuli. Plants also are prone to love. Here is another gentleman in that, Dr. Burbank Luther. He was a horticulturist. We are in Himachal familiar with this Santa Rosa plum. So he is a person who wants that. He writes that there was a thorny cactus in his veranda. Every time when he will pass, he will stand before him and tell him, my dear friend, why are you here having these spines? I'm so friendly. I love you. Why don't you shed? He continued doing, that one day he found that there is a spineless variety. And that variety, he could clearly show it is a love. Plants also love. And all the scientists have shown that with the music, the productivity of the crops increases. So these scientists, both of them, tell about the soul. Here now we are coming to the human soul. I'm here. This is again the thought of the Yogananda, that we are the chariot, and we are the chariot and we are the body, and Krishna is the soul, and Krishna is consciousness. Now it is then there is a mind. Mind may accept the orders of the Krishna, the consciousness, or it will go astray. Krishna will guide Arjuna as long as he wants to be guided. He will not intervene afterward. Same is our soul. Soul is guiding us, but we don't want to listen. We are governed by the desire, while mind always pushes towards the desire. So the whole our balance of life is disturbed. So this is taken from that angle. That's how our human desires. Now, what is soul? In the human forms. Well, we know there is body, mind, and soul. And second thing is, where soul lies in the body? What is soul? Our scriptures say, even Yogananda writes in Autobiography of the Yogi, that the soul is encased in three casings. One is your physical body, which dies after death. It leaves here. It is burnt or buried, doesn't matter. But what matters is there is an astral body. जो रात को सपनों में देखते हो, भाई तुम तो सो रहे हो, वो सपना किस बॉडी को एंजॉय कर रहा है. Not only this, you can create your own thing, your own dream, your own thing, Apple, this, anything what you're saying, you're creating it. This is what when your soul goes to the astral world, you will be doing there. God has given you a glimpse at night in the dream that you need to awaken that. So what is sleep? Sleep is a part of the samadhi. That is also, but we are not conscious. Then there is chances for consciousness. Here I would like to just talk about life after life. There was Dr. Moody. He wrote a book, Life After Life. What he writes, he was in charge of a cancer resort. People are sure to die. And one day he saw that patient who is dying, something is coming out of his body. That is exactly the electric-like figure coming out of his body. And he said, what is this? Then he started thinking, and one day he read in the newspaper that a person who has died, he has come back. This greatest interest from surgery, from all these things, he shifted towards the science of this human body, human soul. What he found, he collected so many stories where there are references. People have died, declared clinically dead, but they have come back. Then some commonality found. When you're dying, life goes, some force goes up. You come out of that force from the black tunnel, come into the bright area, and then you hover over your body. You cannot talk to them. Your language is different. You are made of the electric atoms, and then you find nobody is attending to you, nobody is seeing you. You prefer to go back to the brighter side, because then you forget. Then the new cycle starts. So it is not life after death, it is life after death. Now the question is, do we have soul? Can we utilize our soul? This question was asked. What is the difference between spirituality and science? Yes, the difference is हमारी जो प्रयोगशाला है वो different है as compared to the physical. Physical में तो instruments काम आएंगे. हमारा स्पेक्ट्रोस्फीयर काम आएगा, कुछ और चीज काम आएगी, पर इसमें तो हमारे स्पाइन के ऊपर coccygeal, this is the lowermost, the next is the sacral, 2 inches above, and the navel, it is the medulla, then the heart, dorsal, then connected between neck and the body, it is the sacral, then the medulla oblongata, the medulla, and there is your Krishna Kuthastha. So these, you awaken these, because you can definitely then find the writing. Our rishis have evolved the knowledge and the Vedas, not by the equipment, but from inside. Next. So in Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 concepts. One is the Karma Yoga. That is the way to proceed further in quality of life. Then Bhakti Yoga, with devotion, you can also reach to that level. Then your Jnana Yoga, Gyan, and lastly is the Dhyana Yoga, where you sit and you concentrate, and after some time, the differences between solid, liquid, gases, everything ends, time and space, and all things are energy. So we are born from energy, we will melt in energy. So these are some of now I briefly talk about the Kriya technique. Is there any technique for this? Yes, there are techniques. The techniques given by these 4 masters are, firstly, all this science came after the dark period. This was given by Mahavatar Babaji. He is a deathless yogi. He still lives in the Himalayas. There is a reference. He gave Diksha to Shankaracharya. He gave to Kabir and then to his own disciple, one of the disciples, Himachal. In 1861 at Nainital, he was moving in the forest. He gave him the science for the householder. He said, now the time is coming. The householders also require that science which was given to the yogis who were practicing in the Himalaya. What is this science? There is a shlok of Bhagavad Gita. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, this one. Okay, you are taking in, your breath is going up, your breath is going down. ये है कि जो आपका प्राण है ऊपर को जा रहे हैं, अब नीचे को आ रहे हैं. So you rotate it over your axis, and there are two currents. One is the warm, another is the cold. In the process, both get neutralized, and as a result, your lungs are not functioning. Your heart is still. अरे भाई ऐसी आपकी बॉडी बन जाती है कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड तो निकलती नहीं, तो आप ऑक्सीजन ले जा रहे हो और ऑक्सीजन ही आपकी बॉडी में रह रही है. ये तो साइंस है कि जिस बॉडी को ऑक्सीजन मिलेगी, जिस मशीन ने कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नहीं छोड़नी, तो वो तो फ्रेश रहेगी नहीं. थ्रू दिस साइंस यू कैन अर्न वेल्थ, you can earn prosperity, you can earn health, you can earn happiness, everything. If I am sitting at the age of 80 before you, I am a practitioner of that. I'm not that serious a practitioner. With small practice, it is giving me energy, it is giving me concentration, it is giving me sometimes some discrimination to do what is to be done, what is not to be done. So it is a science which revolves around our body. So here comes the yogis sitting. Our yogis knew the distance of sun and the moon. It is given in our scripture. It is given in the Vedas that this was the distance. And now the science has come. And then naturally, as a modern man trained in science, you will say, यार बिना equipment के कैसे हो सकता है? ये तो हुआ भाई. वेद तो 6,000 साल 8,000 साल पहले लिखे गए होंगे. उनमें तो ये सब चीजें हैं. जो the theories which are given by the scientists, they are also there. Science is only the validation of those theories. There is nothing new. This is the science and the fraction of the part. The question was asked by Mr. Vivek. Yeah, this is the reincarnation. Another important point I would like to talk. Why these things came to me? Why I soon adopted it? Because in my family, two things happened. One was my younger brother was telling about the past life. He was telling, we belong to Ludhiana. There is a village, Dillo, about 15 kilometers on Firozpur Road, where my mother had gone for attend some marriage. When the bus stopped there, Dillo has come, Dillo aa gaya, utro. That boy was telling utro, rone laga. Nobody cared for it. Then one day when we had taken that boy to that village, he could recognize his father had gone to UK, and one day he came also afterward, and he sat in the lap of his grandmother. दादी करके कहा उसने भी बेचारी ने उसको चूमना शुरू कर लिया. मेरे से 8 साल छोटा, मैं शायद 9th or 10th में उस वक्त पढ़ता था. It has happened in my family. They know this belief for me. It was for me only enlightening. Another happening, like Dr. Moody, my father fell very seriously ill, and I was called from Chandigarh. I was studying there in Punjab University, Chandigarh. Okay, come back. So when I reached that night, my father got up. He said, I had gone. वो जमराज आए थे मुझे ले गए, पर उसने कहा ये नहीं, ये रतन चंद नहीं चाहिए, हमें तो रतन चंद जैन चाहिए. Oh, then my younger brother went and go to living to houses there, everybody was crying there. So these things are seen to be believed. These things cannot be discarded as such. So this science of involution, which is to make the man Superman, because thou yam and niyam, qualities are like another proof. These are the 8 asanas of Patanjali. So to combine spirituality with your daily materialistic world, nothing, you will be a gainer, and you will be able to do better life, and you will have better progress, and you will grow in prosperity. I think this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Dr. Khosla. I'll request Vivek. A bunch of questions, of course, from the audience. This was enchanting. I'm sure lots of questions you have, Vivek. So over to you for your questions and questions from the audience.
I think it is a very wonderful presentation, Dr. Khosla. Thank you, Atul, for that. Dr. Khosla, I think you have, as a scientist, been brave enough to link spirituality and science so well. And it is the faith of a human being which matters, I suppose, because ultimately the soul has to play its role. And we are often putting the soul under the carpet. But it is not like scientists don't have souls. So why do most scientists, or many scientists, even the great Stephen Hawking used to say earlier that God does not exist. But later in his life, he said, yes, God exists. So why do great scientists deny God's presence entirely?
You see, there is a difference in the East and the West. East is for spirituality, and West is for material life. Both have to meet. Now, naturally, Western bring-up is different from the Eastern bring-up. We may not believe, from a heart-to-heart Indians believe, there is God, there is soul, there is spirituality. But their training is different. If you're talking with Hawking or others, or even Einstein. Today, scientists in Western world are talking about transcendental physics, quantitative physics. So they know that time is not far. Time has rather come when the people will be, even science will be talking, experimenting on these things. In some American, even at Harvard, there are some professors in the school of yoga. Now they are just studying how the yoga or your chakras or the plexuses can be activated, and what type of energy flows from them, and how much part of the brain is used. All those issues are coming up. So I think it is the question for me that if I didn't talk about the slide of these yugas by Yukteswar Giri, because that is again a very, very, very broad statement by that guru of my guru, Shri Yukteswar Ji. He says there is a cycle of 24,000 years. Of the 12,000 years are ascending and 12,000 years are descending. And he says we are in the Dwapar period. That is why electromagnetic changes are coming. In the dark ages, in your Kali Yuga, you cannot have science. There was no science when there was this Kali Yuga was there. That is coming from 1400 to 1400. And he says that Satya Yoga is for 1200 years, 12,000 years, or yes, 1200 years, 2400, 12,000 years, 2400 years, then 36 is the Treta, then 18 is Treta, 12 is the Dwapar, and Kali Yuga is only for 600 years. Add plus 200 on this side, and other side is synthesis, it will be 1,000 years of Kali Yuga is gone. He also writes, then Raja Prikshat in Mahabharata, while all Pandavas are gone to the Himalayas, there was no scholarly person there. The Pandit Kalu Bhatt then translated the Sanskrit Shlok in a different manner. And that is required to be, who could believe that the Kali Yuga should be large? The science would not have gone. I am a strong believer. In Kali Yuga, nothing should happen. Prior to that, when we were growing, we were not going for meditation. It is now. It is the time has come. I read one book, Celestine Prophecy. The author writes that 20th January and the beginning of the 21st century, there will be because that is based, his findings are based on one, I would say, the scripture which he found in the ruins of Mexico. There was talk about that. On that basis, he wrote the novel. And in that level, he said, now I find that whatever he has written is coming up. That they're coming. He has even given the techniques for that.
Absolutely. In fact, you're absolutely right. The convergence of spirituality and scientific thinking has to happen. If I can just mention intuition. Intuition is a quality which science does not know enough about, but the soul science knows that intuition comes through meditation. We get more into the intuitive faculty. Often we think that, oh, this person called us up, we were just thinking about him. Badi lambi umar hai. But it is actually the intuition at play. And that comes from the soul science. But Dr. Khosla, because we have many questions, let me just turn it over and you will find a lot of interesting questions I have from the audience, which I will ask you now. And first of all, there is a question relating to, it is a very technical one, so I won't take the long one, but I will take, what is your view on teletherapy existing across different regions in the universe? So he's talking about telepathy and teletherapy. Any
When you are talking about the soul, everything is possible. Like soul, I read from the autobiography of a yogi that he as a boy started doing telepathy or hypnotics with the patients. His friend, he could take him, but he could not bring him out. That his father has to help him. So when the soul is coming, the soul is also used for negative purposes. Soul can be used for the positive purposes. Right. The great master used for the positivity. Those who, that is in our Puranic stories, it is always given that the suras, some people are doing these practices only to retain power, but others are using for the positive purposes. So everything exists and it will continue to exist.
Well, there is a question regarding the power of, sorry, Dr. Khosla, next question regarding the power of meditation in plants to provide life-maintaining synergy. So is meditation, does it have an effect on plants?
Meditation will affect, because then when you're meditating, some vibrations are coming out. When the music can help, or sweet words of love can make a thornless variety. So meditation is even bigger than that. That you are radiating some rays. The plant must be stimulating to getting stimulation out of that.
Absolutely. Next question is the statement, the spiritual journey is an individual journey. Do you agree to this?
Yes, it is an individual journey. Yeah, I agree. I started this journey at the age of 52, and at the age of, some people may think I'm a very professionally a great person. I was suspended twice. My guru was purifying me. He wanted, when he will come. In first 4 years, I faced all these problems. Once I had gone for Kriya Yoga, then my path became clean, neat and clean. So good or bad, it is our own. There is doctrine of karma. Whenever you come to this earth, you promise to God, you tell him, my dear sir, send me again, I will be a better student. When you come out, he says, okay, you go, but he gives you delusion, you forget. So my desire will jati hai. Then you forget and then you again repeat it. So next time again, you go on repeating the cycle. But this way, Swami Yogananda says that you can shorten your life cycle of journey of 10 million years to, if you undertake Kriya Yoga for 8 hours daily, in 3 years you can achieve what otherwise you would be achieving in 10 lakh years. So these are the wonderful techniques. So these are the ancient science of this country, where the growth can take you to any level. But for us, it is only, for me at least, it is happiness, it is peace, and as a result, I find everything I am getting, whatever I want to get. For the last 20 years, I am a Kriya Yogi, and I find that my life is, it is an organized, average life that anybody should lead.
Absolutely true. I practice Kriya Yoga myself. I can vouch for your statement. The first two questions were from Rohit and Dr. Rajesh. The next question is from Nishtha. Nishtha is asking, if the trio or trinity determines everything, what defines destiny? What is destiny?
Yes, the destiny is I talked about the doctrine of karma. Whatever you do, you will harvest. You will reap that. Your whole life is on that. Next question could be, why somebody is rich but somebody is poor? Someone is beautiful, other is ugly. So it is determined what you do here. So God is not partial. So destiny is your own. You make your destiny yourself. If you are doing good karma, so you will get the good parents in the next birth. So if you are doing spirituality, you will be born in the spiritual family so that your progress takes place. So this is a journey, self-made journey, and to grow and prosper, this is the process of the divine command.
Absolutely. In fact, the next question I can answer because she has asked, Mala ma'am has asked, how long have you been practicing Kriya Yoga? You have already said 20 years. Next question is, Vipul is asking about teleportation. What is teleportation? I have not heard this term much, but I don't know what he means by that.
Means Vivek is what he means is moving from one place to the other.
Yeah, like Star Wars. I understand.
There are references in the autobiography of the yogi. The yogis can split their bodies into atoms and they can move with the speed of the light from one place to another. There is an instance of Ram Gopal in one of the chapters. He's sitting in a satsang with Swami Hari Mahashaya. He asked him, Ram Gopal, you go to Dashmesh Ghat. And he goes there. He finds first some light is coming and that takes the shape of Mahamata Babaji, one of Hari Mahashaya. And he watches all these things. There is some discussion. They disperse back. So there are instances, there are references. So it is all quotation would be the journey or causal world. And in imagination, you're sitting here, you're traveling, you're in the United States. I was reading Swami Rama's master. He was saying that he could go to America and come back. So those saints know how to do it. So, but Einstein has given you E is equal to mc square. Yeah. Anything can travel with the speed of light. If the mass reduces, they reduce their mass and move with the speed of light.
Speed of light. Leela Dharji is asking, is it not evident that modern science is a new nomenclature given to ancient science of Puranas and Vedas? Modern science.
I will not say so. You will say sun sets every day, sun rises every day. Science only solves some problems. Even in the Vedas, they are written in very abstract form. There is no explanation. The modern science today first looks at the problem, looks at the solution, gives a material method, analyzes the data, and comes to the conclusion. There the conclusions are written, and the common man is not willing to believe it unless he has faith of Vivek Atre or PK Khosla.
Thank you so much. Kamal Kant is asking that the search for the Guru, when will the Guru come? Will I have to search or will the Guru come on his own?
I think Guru is also searching you. When I met Swami Vishwas and I told him that I have felt this change in me at the age of 52, he said, no, you need a Guru and your Guru is searching you. Within 3 months, I could decide my Guru is Yogananda. So it is both ways. It is a janam ka rishta Guru se ek janam ka nahi, kei janam ka hai. So Guru to aayega hi aayega kabhi na kabhi. Is janam mein nahi aayega, agle mein aayega. This is your own arrangement. You want it now or you want it afterwards. It's your karma which is standing in between.
Absolutely.
And you will change your destiny also. It is also destiny.
Very well said. Vipul has rightly said that spirituality is about inner self. It is not a question. It is more of a statement. Very correct. Leela Dharji is again asking, what is the purpose of life? Is meditation the only option in search of ultimate intelligence?
No, I showed you Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and final Dhyan Yoga. So Dhyan Yoga, so unke liye hai those who are evolved, who wants to go. Otherwise, the other simple ways are there. But that it is like traveling. You want to travel on cycle. You want to go on foot or in cart or in aeroplane. If you want to travel on aeroplane, then Dhyan Yoga is the only way.
Rohit Goyal is saying, what is your message to young scientists so that they can emphasize their soul power more? Soul power.
You see, when you sit in meditation, your concentration improves. Ideas come. You think of your problem before sitting meditation. And after the meditation, sit for some time. The problem will solve. Many solutions will come. Many ideas will come. What I was saying, I practiced it. I'm a witness to that many times. Many problems are very serious, either research or personal. All those things get solved. So concentration is the first step of meditation. So at least for the students, if they want, वो उनका lesson जल्दी याद होना शुरू हो जाएगा. I can guarantee if they start sitting, even for 15 minutes, they only are there to sit straight, spinal cord erect, and to peep into your center of the eyebrows and sit. Don't do anything. Make your no thoughts, and that is sufficient for them. And with 15 minutes, I can guarantee a lesson which they learn in or practice in 1 hour. They can, with that type of addition, they can do in 15 minutes.
I absolutely agree. In fact, CEOs who meditate are more successful. Dr. Khosla, there are about 10 more questions, so we'll request only quick answers because there are so many questions. Does destiny lead to karma or karma leads to destiny? Prateep Majumdar.
Reciprocal.
Pavan Kumar is saying 1 yuga equals 3,300 years. That is equal to debate. We will talk about it some other time. Chandrika ma'am is saying, do you believe we are going to enter Satyug as per holy science?
No, it will take, we are only in the Dwapar, we have to pass through Treta and then we will come to Satyug.
Absolutely.
It will take long years, another 20 years, 20,000 years.
Rajesh is saying, do we have some measure for spirituality? How do you measure the spiritual level of a person?
It's a difficult question because the spiritual person will not express and show itself. When I look at my Swamis, they look like ordinary persons. But look at the depth when you discuss with them. Only then you will know what is the level of their spiritual growth.
And Adesh Seni is saying, did God exist before Genesis? Why did God take so long to ensure appearance of life?
You see, the God, for you it is a long, for him it is not long. The same thing, Genesis is the days of Brahma. You are saying, you are talking in terms of the light years. There's the story. How does it matter to God whether it is 1 million years or 2 million years? It is just a speck of the thought for him. So time in his dictionary, I don't think there is any definition of the time.
And Shashi Julka ma'am is asking, can the soul be created by man?
I cannot answer this question.
I doubt that man can create a soul, but Shyamji is asking, Raj or Kriya Yoga leads to spiritual consciousness. It is very true. No, this is Chandelji. He is agreeing with you. Abhilasha ma'am is asking, what is the exact position of soul in our body?
This is again a variable question, and different people talk about differently. I don't think we should attach any importance to it. The soul is soul, it is energy in the body.
Gaurav Bali is asking about Babaji, that Mahavatar Babaji is said to be alive in the Himalayas even today.
Yes, sure. Because if you look at the references, last what I have recorded is when Deva Mata, the third president of the Self-Realization Fellowship and Yoga Satsang Society, in 1962, she came to India, and at Haldwani railway station, she had the glimpses of Mahavatar Babaji. So afterwards, there are other schools that are talking about that, but I cannot say. But my reference in 1962. So now I have a reference to 1861 to Lahiri Mahashaya and 1962 of Devamata. And of my guru in 1920, when he was going to US, he was crying, what I will do there? Then Babaji appeared before him. My dear boy, you obey what your guru says, you will be successful.
And Pradeep
These
Kumar,
are the references which I am sure I ought to believe it.
Yes, we ought to. Pradeep Kumar is asking, how can we differentiate between our body and soul?
Body doesn't think. Whenever a thought comes, the soul guides you, good or bad. आप चोरी करने लगते हैं, आत्मा कहती है ना कर. आप उसको dominate कर सकते हैं क्योंकि mind is divided. Mind is a link between the body and the soul. So soul then lives like a prisoner in your body, and the mind overpowered. Mind becomes the manager. Otherwise, mind is to serve the soul. The mind forgets its role, the role reverse हो जाता है.
And Manju Jaitka ma'am is asking, why is it so difficult to convert bad people to spirituality? It would make the world a better place.
This is the law of nature. This is again the doctrine of karma. Good and bad people will appear all the time. Look at the history. Anytime there will be the mixture of people, because human mind is such. Yes, when you reach Satyog, because even if you agree with, if you may or may not agree with Yukteswari's cycle of yogas, but what he says, that in Dwapar, your electromagnetic, you are at the 40th level of your consciousness. In Treta, you will be at the 60th level of your, then Satyug you will be at the 100% level of your consciousness. So in Satyug, everybody, they are so spiritually evolved, then everybody is evolved. Then there is no evil. But as we descend down, the evil starts appearing in Treta, Dwapar, or Kaljug. Kaljug, there are more sins, and now we are ascending. And scientific progress and spiritual progress is taking place. Who was talking about meditation? 50 years back, I have not grown and I have not seen this thing. I am 1940 born, and I have never in my family, nobody talked about the meditation. हमें तो माँ कहती थी होम करो, जाप करो, माला पढ़ा देते थे, खाना तब मिलेगा. हमें तो ये पता है. कोई घर में नहीं था. ये तो 19th century के एंड में जाकर हमने सुनना शुरू किया यार स्पिरिचुअलिटी भी है, मेडिटेशन भी है. And 20th century में, 21st century में, there is now all spread up. Everybody is talking, so many schools, so many places.
Absolutely right. So a couple of more questions. Jagdeep Verma ji is saying, is the time of birth and death fixed for all creatures?
Time of birth should be.
And then
because again is the doctrine of karma. Karma bhugtane jo kyunki there is another reference in our scripture. जब कोई बड़ा आदमी आता है अपने साथ अपने साथी लेकर आता है. भगवान कृष्ण आए थे, वो भी अपने साथ लेकर आए थे. वो जो गोपियां भी थी, वो भी उनके साथ. The days were saints of the past birth. And Swami, our own guru, landed in US, in Boston. He had some of his, he was seeing them while before leaving for United States. Some personalities, some building which came true. He found those people. There was a natural attraction.
Absolutely. And Shikha Sood is asking an important question. Why is the guru important?
You see, master or the teacher is for our bread and butter. Guru talks about the journey beyond these things. So it is important because he will show you the path. Guru's role is 25%. 25% your 50% will come from God. So Guru is the instrument through which that 50% can be God. You cannot obtain that 50% without the effort of the Guru.
So I'll have to intervene, Vivek, over here. We're running short of time. So I'll request you to make last comments, Dr. Khosla and Vivek. But before you end, I just was thinking, we all are so lucky at Shoolini that we keep on hearing these thoughts all the time. Great talk, Dr. Khosla. Hopefully, I'll also find my guru very soon. I know who he is, but I just need to explore him more. Over to you, Vivek.
I just want to give you one stance.
Sure.
In 2010, Dhumal Sahib, he came to our university to inaugurate the university. I took him to the meditation center where my 6 gurus were lined up in pictures. He said, Dr. Khosla, ये काम वही कर सकता है जिसके ऊपर वाले की कृपा हो. नहीं तो यूनिवर्सिटियों में लोगों ने कहा ना ये तो दूसरा आदमी है, ये तो अपने हिंदुओं को फैला रहा है. मैंने कहा सर, this is spirituality, this meditation, it is common to all, it is to the human being, it's not to the Hindus or Muslims. That is why Yogananda was chosen by his guru, an old disciple Babaji, to go to US. It was decided in 1995 itself, told to Yukteswar Guru that after 25 years I will send you a student. He will be going to America, where hundreds and thousands of souls are waiting to go to God, and he took them to the God.
So I'm just going to name the people who've asked questions without asking these questions because there's so many. Pavan Kumarji, Krishan Kumarji, Mr. Sunil Puri also, Vipul Tomar, again, Shakshi Gautam, Colonel TPS Gill, Vipul again, Harsha Thakur, Devesh Kumar, Shikha again, Arvind Nandaji, Supriya Srivastav, Dr. Rajesh.
You give their questions to me, I will send them the reply.
Yeah, Guru Raj Kudur, Jay Prakash, and that's about it.
I had quite a few questions on YouTube also.
Yes,
we've had Manish and Rajni and Shivani and many others, Sunil Pathania. So I think we'll pass on the questions to Dr. Khosla, who will reach out to all of you.
Absolutely. We have only one anonymous attendee. The rest have all given their names, so it's all fine. Yeah.
So over to you for last thoughts, Vivek and Dr. Khosla.
Okay, so I think that was a wonderful exposition by Dr. PK Khosla. I think he spoke from the heart. That was the best part. And what you said, you actually believe in it. And that is what matters. When a speaker is speaking from the superfluous kind of level, it doesn't sound convincing. When a scientist like you speaks about spirituality with such conviction and belief, then people start thinking in a different way. And you're absolutely right that in this era, it is important for people to balance their mindsets and think in terms of materialistic, scientific, etc. pursuit as well as spiritual pursuit at the same time. Only then progress can take place. So thank you, Atul.
Thank you, Vivek, and thank you, audience, for being a wonderful audience. So many comments, so many questions. We are truly honored and excited. And thank you, Dr. Khosla, of course, for this really exciting, fascinating journey and how you actually combined science and spirituality together. It was, I would think it's the work of a genius. So congratulations for that. Once again, thank you for being on the Yogananda Guru series. We'll meet you again on Monday, 11:30 a.m. for another wonderful session on the Yogananda Guru series, only by Shoolini University. And we also have to thank Vivek because we do it in association of the Vibrant Forum. So Vivek, thank you for that. Once again, stay safe, have a great day, and may the coronavirus leave us very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khosla. Thank you, Atul. Thank you all.